It's amazing that less people don't just try to Google things before posting about it. Because if you Googled, you would find Zombies World Records very quickly. I've also had some times where people on Reddit accuse me of being a bad player. I will state a fact, and they'll be like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're completely wrong. And I'll be like, I'm literally 10th place. Not even. I remember about a year ago, somebody posted like something about Dead of the Night, and I was like, no, this fact is false. Like, Dead of the Night is not this way. And he goes, you don't know what you're talking about. I bet your highest round on Dead of the Night is 30. And I was like, it's 257. He's like, you're lying. And I'm like, I linked Zombies World Records, and you could see my name in the top 10. He's like, oh shit, you're not lying. I was like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Delete this post, fucker. I love that I can do that with a lot of categories. I know what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm literally top 10. No, you're not. There I am.
Hello? Anyone there? Here? Misty? Marlton? Russ?
I don't believe people like that because, like, I feel like if you're committing the, like, 10 hours that it takes to get to round 300, you would just keep going, you know?
Oh, the knife
I didn't get the shield piece.
lobby is behind all this. I just know it. Okay, so since Brainbox Marlton is nowhere to be seen, I take it that it's going to be down to me to make this a Garthen device.
You know, just stay in the spawn room.
Thing.
I was like, how have you been to 3? By multiple, you assume like 2 or 3 times. It does take 10 hours to get to around 300 plus.
Wait, that came out wrong.
So you're committing a lot of time to the game to say you're bored. You're either doing over 10 hours in one day, multiple times, then claiming to be bored afterwards. Or you're lying. But it's like, or you're pausing overnight and then continuing the game the next day, which is equally possible. But if you know how to pause the game overnight and continue the next day, why are you claiming to be bored? And then if you're so bored, why are you doing it a second time?
Somewhere nice and hot. Yeah, like the Bahamas.
Like, if you are actually getting to around 300,
Well done.
clearly you're either doing it in one sitting, which would be like 10, 12 hours, which is a lot for one sitting, or you're doing it over multiple days. And then the question is, why would you quit after having invested multiple days into it? And then after quitting, why would you start up yet another game thinking it'll be less boring the second time?
Something about the snow here, or would that work anywhere?
My Dead of the Night, if one thing, I had an excuse to be bored, because I was staring at the floor the whole game.
Better keep moving.
I had gotten to 257, and I said I'm never quitting, and then I had a power outage, and that's how my game ended. I was like, you know, and then the second time around, that's when I got bored. Because I was like, you know what, I already have 257, let me wait until I drop off the top 10, and then I'll go back and do this world record. You know? I think that's more excusable. But it's not like I got to 257, quit because I was bored, and started a new game 3 days later, then quit because I was bored a second time on 257.
Holy shnikes! Death by snowball! So cold! It almost burns! How's that even possible? Double points! Oh, can I have another drink?
Oh yeah, I know.
This one
The only thing I don't like about the latest game is that nobody quite knows, because there's always improvements being made. Because right now 255 takes like 7 hours, but it could be less if there's some improvement.
Hear that?
In previous games, people would be like, oh, I got to 255, it took 4 hours, and you're like, no, that's not true. This game, they might be able to prove it, and that's what scares me.
Makes me tired just thinking about it.
And until we learn,
The reason it smells like the men's room at a stadium in here?
like, how the zombies spawn, how the number of zombies works, we're probably not going to know. Oh, there we go. All right, we have a game.
Like using a sledgehammer as a fly swatter.
We're not going to know exactly how long it takes.
Flies, nothing.
Oh, I didn't want to grab that. Oh well.
Yes, keep coming. I'm all the way up. Oh, you look just like I pictured you. Never mind. Just bring me the blue rock from the cave. You do that, and I can help you.
Oh, I need to look for the shield
Dogs
piece.
are coming, aren't they?
Hello? Hello? What? What?
Don't let the doggy door hit you on your way.
Why were they getting lost?
Sorry, you had to go.
That's so weird. Alright, let me find the shield piece. I don't think it's down here, because it usually spawns over there. I don't quite... Oh, there it is. I saw it. I don't always remember where the spawns are on the middle floors, but that one I saw right away.
What say we take you out for a
I'm going to take this so I can have a stabby stab. And then I'll open this.
I really should sharpen this knife. It's pretty much just a metal finger. I thank you.
Can I activate this right away? No. Oh, yes. I did activate it. Blue rock. You know what? I realized I forgot that I can restart for the extra fire sale, but it's okay. When I'm bored, I go on like popular high round video and read the comment. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever like read that already frightens me. Because I've never thought about the fact that
You really don't like snowballs.
people probably actually don't know. Alright, let me give him the blue rock.
Place the rock on the dumbwaiter. I know what to do.
Knock yourself out, buddy. Mind telling me your name? Back off!
Alright, headshots.
Ugly
Doy.
face! Yeah!
You know what, let me just stick around this area, because I know the next challenge involves shield, and I'm definitely going to break the shield. Plus, I need to actually collect the reward to have the next challenge in the first place. Shield bash? Yep, shield bash. People who vaguely understand how oh. I love when people explain things they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, shield bash is gonna break my shield in no time.
I'm not expecting Russian shields to meet the same standards as American ones.
You built it! What do you mean you're not expecting it to meet standards?
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Oh wait, I can stab now. Duh. Oh, is this P-jars? Don't be P-jars. Ah, it's P-jars. Damn. I hate why do they have to make it 3? Like, it's just so tedious. It's not even a hard challenge, it's just tedious.
So this is what passes for a beach in Siberia? Yeah, I predict a severe bikini shortage.
But it's fine, because extra self-revive is all I need. Yeah, I don't know why people are suddenly forgetting the issues with Black Ops 4. I think it'd be fine if they released just as many remakes as new maps. Like, if we got, like, I think everyone's under the assumption that we're sort of guaranteed 4 DLC. If they released 2 maps at a time, like Season 1, actually supposedly Season 1 we're not even getting a new Zombies map. But let's say Season 1, 1, 3, 5, and 7, we get new Zombies maps. Or 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever. Season 1, we get 1 remake and 1 new map. Season 3, we get 1 remake, 1 new map. Season 5, we get 1 remake, 1 new map. Season 7, we get 1 remake, 1 new map. Then it would have been fine. I think people would not have been mad about the Aether remakes if we had gotten 4 Chaos maps too. Like, or 2 more. Or, like, if there had been 2 more remakes and 2 more Chaos maps. Dead of the Night releases and a remade Aether map comes out. Ancient Evil comes out and a remade Aether comes out. And then another Chaos map comes out and a remade Aether comes out. And another Chaos map comes out and a remade Aether comes out. Then I don't think people would complain nearly as much. There we go. And now I'm done with all the challenges I need to do. Let's turn on the power. Oh, that's a shame. What do you melee? This gun has a bayonet attachment. Oh, unless you're just talking about, like, why did they get rid of the knife and make it so it's the butt of your gun, in which case, I don't know. That's not a change I'm too fond of, but it's because of the idea that you can upgrade to have a normal knife. But they made a lot of upgrades, things that just existed in the base version of perks originally.
That's right, Savage.
I didn't want to have to use that right there. I have to remember that I'm playing Black Ops 4, and just pulling out my specialist when I'm in danger is a thing you do.
I've got a chance to finally end this freaking nightmare. Oh, I think my tongue just died. Ah, jeez, are we gonna have to build something out of this? This is just like that town all over again.
Yeah, you have the Bowie knife
You fight well.
like to start, which is nice. But I still wish there was a little more progression,
Don't worry, Mr. Blake.
because a Bowie knife used to be an investment. It used to be something like, oh, you could, you know, stick with your normal knife, or you can get the Bowie knife, which will cost you 3,000, but you can make more points out of it. And that was always
Weird containers on
like a
the deck.
trade-off.
What the heck were they shipping?
It was like, is it worth it to get the Bowie knife for 3,000?
Holy moly! That was sparking like a down power line.
Where can the thing spawn again? I completely forget. I actually have no clue. I mean, I know it's back here somewhere. Can it spawn right here? Yes, it can, but it didn't. It spawn over here. It's not. Oh wait, it can spawn way in the back. Forgot. It can spawn like over here. Yep, here it
This
is.
thing is girthy, just like that other thing I picked up. Yeah.
Fight on, my new friends. Work with our comrade in Lighthouse. He is most ingenious.
Hey Eddie, can I trust your Russian acquaintance?
Yes, well, I suppose I do.
Now, I'm no architect, but I'm guessing this cargo hold wasn't originally an open-air design. Darn dogs always freak me out. Okie dokie. I am carrying a freaking bomb now because I am that idiot.
I definitely like Victus. I think Victus was kind of a controversial crew. Most people I talked only vaguely know about Black Ops 3 and they never... Yeah, because Black Ops 1 and 2 was really the height of zombies. Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 zombies was like Fortnite today. Or Fortnite 2 years ago. It was the game everyone played. It was as mainstream as it can get. All the way from Kino to town. Like, or Kino to transit, really.
Hey, did you see me moving zip lines, or did you just... No.
I have been around here for 20 years. I'm the only place I get back on my house. That gearbox was broken. I will fix it for you.
It was so much fun. It did so many things right. Even though Transit itself wasn't a good map, there was so many things it did right.
Okay, this
Grief
doesn't
mode,
suck.
turn. The survival maps were so cool. Because you just jump in and it's instant fun. There's no thinking about it. Oh, I need power on. How did that activate a Winter's Whale? I also need snowballs.
Man, I could use a hot shower. But I'm a gentleman, so, whiskey first.
Let me capitalize on this double points a little bit.
Brain trust up here. Now the only thing going through their minds is... Wait.
Because I'm gonna have Golden Pack-a-Punch open as soon as I turn on the power. And I want to be able to... Snowballs up here? Are there snowballs up here? Oh yeah, over here. As long as I can get one part to spawn, fine. There we go.
Looks like our frosty friend
Alright, now
found something.
no more of those guys are going to spawn in. Everyone had staff upgrades on their phone. Not as many people had, like, how to build the plane on their phone, which is interesting.
This is where all start.
Now Lighthouse has power enough to activate Golden Pack-a-Punch machine. Much better than normal machine. 20 bang per work. He's out on a little island near ship. Just try not to get killed out there, okay?
Alright, now we head to Golden Pack. Golden Pap.
Hey, this is actually fun! Once you stop pissing your pants...
Well, pfft. Yeah, I guess this won't be 100 speedrun material simply because I'm doing a full high round setup and not just the speedrun.
Just call me Samuel Thunderclap Stullinger.
Thundercraft.
Alright, let's head over there.
If
I wanted to
you
try to
say
end the round, but it's okay. Might as well. Oh, I forgot the...
Oh, Golden
Whatever.
Pack, you better deliver. Because this looks like a bad place to be. Wow, a full pack for the same price? If only Marlton had been part of that. Okay, worth the price of admission.
Ah, it's too bad. I need, cryo freeze. Yeah, they made the AATs even worse in Cold War. That's one thing I also don't like. They were too OP in like Black Ops 3. Then in this game they kind of balanced it, and then in Cold War they made it useless. Yeah, everyone knows it's all because of the budget. This game had no budget. Because, for whatever reason, Activision poured it all into, like, Blackout, thinking that would be better, or I don't even know. But for whatever reason, there were budget cuts. Alright, I forgot it's only 1,500 to... There we go, crowd freeze. Okay, what else do I have to do? Activate the flingers. And get my heat pack.
Hope that doesn't cause an avalanche.
It absolutely would have been. And a lot of people still believe it's up there. Like, Ancient Evil was a very top-tier map.
I swear, these freaks must be politicians.
I can't believe I used a Dying Wish there. How many times do I have to miss? Let me pull this out.
You're looking pretty handy, even if you won't show your face.
I am just someone with dreams of escape.
Did not want to have to use a Dying Wish. But it'd be like that. Why does the rocket launcher not damage you? I have PhD.
Oh dear, look at the mess I've made.
Yeah, I wish I could pump it
Hey,
in
what's
this
the best
game,
way to
but
get around
yeah, I
these
get why I
docks without
can't.
getting your socks wet? Asking for a friend.
I have to remember that I have 4 hits. I don't like that on Cold War, Jug is useless. Because of the way the armor system works. With Jug, and with no armor, Jug is 3 hits. Jug is 3 hits with no armor. On Black Ops 3, we started with 3 hits. So, like, why did that have to change? Yeah, it used to be reduced explosion damage, now it's 0 explosion damage, because they realized that there was no reason they should have nerfed it in the first place.
Oh, I'm so giddy I could just pee my name in the snow. Oh, but that's a lot of letters. I really haven't had that much to drink today. My initials!
I think they should bring back Stone Cold Stronghold, in my opinion. And make it repair your armor for staying in the same spot. People would really enjoy it, especially with the new strat.
This is crazy! Oh, I'm so giddy I could just pee my name in the snow. Oh, but that's a lot of letters. I really haven't had that much to drink today. My initials! Just call me Samuel Thunderclap Stullinger.
Thundercrap.
If you say so.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, supposedly the leaks are saying we're getting double tap PhD, Tombstone, and what was the last one? Forget.
Holy shit!
I don't remember.
Why do I suspect this good feeling won't last?
But like, it does upset me that it does upset me that we aren't going to see any of the Black Ops 4 perks return. Because even though nobody liked the system, some of the perks were good. And some of the perks would have been perfect in the old system. People would have loved Victorious Tortoise on a map like Gorod Krovi. I would have loved Stone Cold Strongholds. I would love Stone Cold Stronghold because it works. It can have it repair your armor for staying in the same spot.
If only Marlton had been part of that. Oh, must be where they kept the poor schmucks they used as guinea pigs.
Yes, but the three who were kept in those cells became my closest schmucks.
Good, good. You're making meat pack. Move through water fast and freeze slow, yes?
Oh, man. I can use this. I was getting desperate enough to put on long pants.
I don't know why they put the armor repair separate. I guess I sort of do, but I don't like the menuing associated with this game. I don't like the fact that like you have to go through a bunch of menus to get what you need.
Oh dear, look at the mess I made.
Because if you don't know where the thing you're looking for is, you're never going to find it. You have to do so much reading. And nowadays, now that people have had the game for a while, we know what we're looking for. But I hate the fact that the first few playthroughs, I had to just, like, run the zombie away, run back, and just read everything that was on the menu and figure out what I was trying to do.
Fetch me their souls.
You know, I used to like dogs. Up goes the beagle.
Max ammo.
Oh. I gotta put the other gearbox in. Let's do that in between rounds.
That was for you!
I don't like that these are remakes, but I like the way they play. Like, that's how I feel about this map.
That's amazing!
I don't like that Blood of the Dead is a bad recreation of Mob of the Dead, but I enjoy the high round strategy. I don't like that this is a bad recreation of Call of the Dead, but I enjoy the high round strategy. I don't enjoy the high round strategy for Classified. I liked 5 better. I don't enjoy the high round strategy for Alpha Omega. I enjoyed Nuketown better. So, but that's why I do like Blood of the Dead and Tag Your Toten. Yep, all the zombies come from this window. That's it. And this is what the whole game is going to be like.
Double points.
That is a feature. It was intended, because if it wasn't intended, it would have been patched out. And it's weird that it is intended, because this was specifically not a feature on Call of the Dead. they made sure that if you were in this room, that they could spawn outside of this room. But for whatever reason, they adjusted the spawn logic for this game. How do you get ammo? You can typically go over 100 rounds just relying on the max ammos and you should be good. But after that, I switched to this weapon. And when this one runs out of ammo, this is a wall weapon, so I go buy more ammo. The previous way to do it was actually to do perk trades. So you would equip Secret Sauce into your first perk slot. And then you would keep buying new perk, and you would put Bandolier as that perk, which gives you 30% more ammo. You would keep switching your perk until you get Bandolier 3 times, and that will completely fill your ammo. Because it refills 30% of your ammo as soon as you buy it. So if you buy it 3 times, it fills your ammo completely. But the new way is the wall weapon way, which requires you to do no perk trades because it has been proven that perk trades actually cause errors.
Insta-kill. Fetch me their souls. Oh, great. And here I am, fresh out of doggy biscuit.
Why are there dogs on this map? Because they were lazy. That's the real truth. Every Black Ops 4 map has dogs, or every Black Ops 4 Aether map just has dogs, even though, does it make sense canonically? Not really. Like, Classified has dogs. I don't see why they couldn't have tried to bring back the Pentagon Thief. There was nothing wrong with him. It was a cool feature, but they didn't bring back the Pentagon Thief. They made it dogs because it was convenient. A lot of the Dead has dogs. I don't even know why. And then Alpha Omega has dogs. I also don't know why. There's no storyline. And then this one has dogs. I don't know why. This one, they obviously couldn't bring George back. That's the thing. That one also wouldn't work canonically either, because this is 40 years before George Romero visited this place in Siberia, so right now D Machine's identity is Nocturne Toten. That's the truth.
Only Marlton had been part of that.
I don't know, even though I haven't played this in 2 months, I definitely feel very at home with this strategy. I feel comfortable. Because I've done this strategy plenty. I am, I think, 8th? Let me check. What position am I in now? 9th. Who beat me? I don't know. 9th. But either way, 100 is under 2 hours away.
See that, Russman? That was for you.
Oh, I gotta get out of Revelations mode. I have to remember that to place down the spikes, I have to hit both L and R. Revelations, you just hit L. But that is the truth. Like, D-Machine, the identity of the map is just Nocturne Toten. The thing is, they did this with this game, and they did this with D-Machine. is that they tried to make it so that every weapon in the game is equally good. And where they succeeded is that every weapon can kill. Every weapon can kill. But you'll always have one weapon that just outshines the rest because of its convenience. There's no reason you wouldn't use the Gallo, ever. Because the Gallo always works. And the Gallo works better than anything. Or I guess, not entirely true. The reason you wouldn't use the Gallo is because you have a ray gun. But there's no reason to try anything else. The Gallo is the standout weapon, besides the ray gun. And this game, they tried to make every single weapon good. And instead of doing that, they made the Helion Salvo the only weapon you need. Because you don't need any other weapons. Every weapon can kill, effectively, when they're fully pack-a-punched. But you don't need to. Why did I not throw down ray fires? I don't even know. I gotta use the bathroom. I didn't want to pause the speedrun timer, but kinda gotta go. I guess I must pause the timer at the end of the round. Because I don't want to wait an hour and a half at least to use the bathroom.
Only Marlton has been part of that. Your kind before.
Do I like the elixir mechanic or gobblegums? I liked gobblegums. I think that the classic gobblegums were the most balanced. Even Alchem. I would argue that Alchem, except maybe on a map like Revelations, I would argue that Alchem gives just enough of a buff without actually being OP. I think a lot of people thought that. They tried to tease that on purpose. They didn't show any perks, and they showed gobblegums to get us talking, to get us speculating. I think if the classic ones were the only gobblegums, it would be good. Because, think about it this way. If Alchem was on Black Ops 1, it wouldn't be totally game-breaking to the point where, like, you could just skip through rounds. The only way it would help you is it would make it so you have to trade out less. And yeah, Alchem is very overpowered in that it gives you tons of ammo, but like, it doesn't give you physical buffs, just more ammo. So if Alchem was in Black Ops 1, people would enjoy it. Nobody would complain. As long as it wasn't like a consumable thing that you had to earn by playing online. Like, if you can hop into Black Ops 1 and get Alchem in plain sight, anywhere but here, that would be fine. All that would do is make it easier for casual players and easier for high round players. Because you can escape situations and you have to trade out less. People would love that. But still, once you get to the extremely high rounds, like 200 plus, Alchem's not getting you through the round anyway. You'll still have to do trade outs. It just means less of them. It is, because it's the one that they kept as a classic. While all the others were megas. It's fine. A part of me does wish that they had kept it like, I don't know if you remember, but Shadows of Evil, when the game first came out, this was actually true on Shadows of Evil and Horizon, and then they patched it shortly before Zetsubo came out. Only 2 Gobblegum machines were active at one time, and if you hit it too many times, it would move to another area, just like the box. So you had to actually keep track of which Gobblegum machines were active for you. And that was kind of good, because I think it might be bathroom time. It was kind of good because it made it so that you didn't have to, or it added a new layer of challenge. It made it so that you couldn't just hit the Gobblegum over and over right next to where you're standing. You actually had to track down where it was. And you could only hit it once per round. Nowadays on Revelations, if you're playing a Megas game, you just spam the hell out of it, because it's not going to move away from where you are. And you can hit it 2-3 times around. If you don't, like, there are 3 or 4 gums that give you extra ammo. If you don't get an ammo gum, just hit it again. But it's never going to leave. It would be a different type of strategy if you actually had to leave and go chase it down. It wouldn't be, like, completely game-breaking and make it impossible to get high rounds, but it would add a new layer of challenge. It's like trading out in Black Ops 1. You always have to chase down the box. Black Ops 3, they could have made it so you chase down the Gobblegum machine, but they decided to keep it so that it just is everywhere. That's because they wanted people to actually purchase the microtransactions, realistically. Alright, let me use the bathroom real quick. I'm going to take my sweatshirt off real quick, and then I'll continue. I might just go to 100 today and stop. We'll see how I'm feeling. Because I definitely want to go all the way to world record. I don't want to end my game, but today I'm not in like a video game mood. I don't want to end it here around 33, obviously, but like these last couple days I've just kind of been like, all right, let me get a couple hours in and that'll be plenty for me. I'm not in the mood to really go all out. Do I like ZNS? I don't like ZNS because the setup is really tedious. Like really, really tedious. There's so much you have to do for a high round game. Suffers Dead of the Night syndrome.
Fat
I think my favorite thing to comment, people will be like, oh, I love Dead of the Night. The setup isn't even that hard. And I'm like, I think it's hard. And they're like, well, your highest round probably even isn't that good anyway. And I'll be like, I'm literally 8th place in the world, and I don't even know how to open Pack-a-Punch. That's true. I don't know the steps to open Pack-a-Punch. I got 8th in the world on Dead of the Night, and I had to Google how to open Pack-a-Punch. What's the consensus on Gorod Krovi? Casuals love it because it's a cool map. High rounders hate it because it just has so many errors, so many problems, and it's the hardest, probably second hardest. It's a really hard and inconsistent strategy.
That doesn't cause an avalanche.
Like, it's extremely annoying.
I'm really trying not to take that personally.
Yeah, most high rounders hate it, but casuals love it. There are people that say that Gorod Krovi is better than DE, but no high rounder has ever said that. There's a reason why hardly anyone actually runs DE. Like, Dad Won't Hug Me is currently the king of DE. He's the only one crazy enough to consistently go for world records. People love DE from the start because DE was Origins, basically. But I think there was less hassle involved with DE. It's easier to build the bows than it is to build the stabs. So Gorod Krovi, people definitely loved it first. The Easter egg was really tough. People loved it for a while because the casual community always gets to it way before the high round community does. In the sense that it takes little time to finish the Easter egg and to just learn the map's mechanics and to play casually. It takes a lot more time to figure out the high round strategy and get good at the high round strategy. People loved the Easter egg ending, like killing old Nikolai and having him fight back and the boss fight. And then there was the teaser. They literally announced Revelations in the cutscene. That was hype. When you're like, wow, they actually announced the last map. And they said, to be concluded. So you're like, oh shit, this is the end. This is a big deal. That was hype. Plus, dragons were so cool. Everything was so cool. The cutscene when you ride the dragon, that was awesome. Especially for a casual player. But when high rounders got to it, we realized the Raygun Mark III stops killing before round 50. The game crashes when you try to use the specialist weapon. The game crashes when you try to do basically everything. And fun fact about that, the game still crashes when you try to use the specialist. To this day. Did casuals like Revelations? They loved it. Because they still love it, because Revelations is so easy. But as far as like the Easter egg scene goes, we loved it for the first week because it was so nostalgic. You jump from island to island. Oh my god, you're in Shangri-La. No, wait, you're in Durizen. No, wait, you're in Kino, Varuk. You know, it had all of our favorite maps. It had all, and it was so cool to experience and to play through it And then going inside the Apothecon and the double boss fight. Plus, they didn't announce the Thunder Gun until the map came out.
Fetch me their soul.
The map came out, and you got to see everyone's reaction videos of just suddenly getting the Thunder Gun. And you're like, holy shit. That was so cool. Because of the budget. Black Ops 4 cutscenes were not CGI because of the budget. That's why these were remakes. Because, for whatever reason, Activision just stopped caring about this game. They had no budget for this game. They disappointed a lot of people. And I think it was because of the negative reaction at first. They're like, alright, this game flopped, so no more budget. Sorry. And it was a shame because, weirdly enough, they could have absolutely saved the game. People didn't care about the Chaos story. They wanted more of the Ether story. And they could have saved the game if they had put more of a focus. They could have saved the game if they had put more of a focus on the Ether story and not started the Chaos story. They could have ended it the same way. People didn't like the ending, but they could have ended it the same way and people would have been happier if it was a longer journey. They could have, on launch, released a new Ether map, and then Blood of the Dead and Classified, and then just do more Ether maps without Chaos, and they could have done less maps. And people would have liked it because they like this story. They could have released maps to connect the Ether story to Blood of the Dead. Like they released the comic books explaining how Victus got into the cryopods and how they got the Cronorium for Richtofen. They could have released those comic book maps as new maps. They could have had Victus be continued. And Classified would have been good. So they could have had Victus continue for the first couple maps, and then have them go to Blood of the Dead. And then release Classified and say, oh, release Classified in the middle of the DLC. Or at the very least, release Classified in the middle of the DLC, or at least release a new Ultimus map. So that people are like, oh shit, you know, that's neat that they're adding a little bonus, they're adding Ultimus content, and then they're like, wait a minute, Ultimus is joining us. Nobody expected that. But they rushed it on us. Alpha Omega was hyped because of the fact that Primus and Ultimus were together, but it had to be a remake, of course. If it was an original map, people would have loved it. And they also could have made it an 8-player mode, or at the very least could have reintroduced grief mode. They didn't. We wanted to see Ultimus Richtofen and Primus Richtofen working together. Shit. But they didn't go that route. They could have had a whole fleshed out Ether story that ended the same way, but they rushed the ending. People didn't like the fact that people still complain. They're like, wow, the last map that we got to play as Primus was a Nuketown remake. And then I'll be like, yeah, and the last map that we got to play as Ultimus was a Nuketown remake. And the last map that we got to play as Victus was a Call of the Dead remake. They easily could have done more. That's their biggest argument. Like, wow, we went on such a... Ultimus is what we grew up with. Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, Ultimus... Like, that's our childhood right there. We love those guys. We love how silly and quirky they are. And then Primus, from Origins through Black Ops 3, they took us on a very emotional adventure. But then we ended off kind of soiled by saying the last time we ever get to interact with Ultimus and the last time we ever get to interact with Primus is on a terrible Nuketown remake. And that really left a bad taste. And yeah, I'm glad they brought back Victus. I like playing as Stuhlinger and them. I love playing as Stuhlinger because you get to listen to Ultimate's Richtofen being crazy again, just like you did in Transit Die Rise and Buried.
Don't look at me.
And it's even better because Richtofen talks a lot more in this one. Previously, Richtofen only spoke when you were doing Easter egg steps and like power-ups. This time around, he speaks all the time. Samuel will say something and Richtofen will respond. And I love that they added that. Nice. Perfect timing. I am glad that they didn't put the full power up in D Machine. And it's not like they forgot about it, because they actually did add full power to the Onslaught mode. That ended the round. Wow. I mean, this map is just as fast as D Machine. The only thing that makes D Machine faster is the fact that the number of zombies per round doesn't even increase. And I think that's a really terrible change. Because we shouldn't be seeing 600 within a couple weeks of release. That's true. For some reason, even though there are a lot of complaints, like Frenzy's been complaining quite a bit, he's still playing it. He's on round 400 something, you know, or he was. He got 441, he errored. People are still playing it, even though there are a lot of complaints about high rounds. But it's addicting. People want to get better. People want to get better because the map is not even close to optimized right now, which is insane. That 20 hours to around 600 is not even close to optimized.
Only Marlton has been part of that. Double points.
Everyone knew he hated it. All of his Black Ops 4 content was just him complaining. He's like, and I'm amazed that he even got an early copy of Cold War. He said that it was very hard to get an early copy. And I was like, yeah, I can imagine why, because all you did was trash their previous game.
Oh, great.
And then as soon as he got an early copy, he started trashing it too. But there are a lot of things that were bad about Black Ops 4 that are still bad about Cold War, but people are no longer acknowledging. Like the fact that it's a remake. And yeah, the argument is that even though it is a remake, it feels the least like a remake. Like, I said this before. When you play this map, you're like, yeah, this is very Call of the Dead. You're like, there's no doubt about it that this is Call of the Dead remade. When you play like Alpha Omega, you're like, yep, you can't avoid the fact that it's Nuketown. It's Nuketown. When you play Blood of the Dead Classified, you know that it's the original maps. When you play D Machine, it feels the least like Nocturne Toten, but it still feels very Nocturne Toten. It just feels the least remake-y of all of them. 102.13. Where does that put me on the 50 speedrun? Weirdly enough, 10th place. That's surprising, because there is, like, first place through 9th place are very tightly packed together, and then there's a 10-minute gap between 9th and 10th place, and I have just knocked 10th place off by 2 minutes. Okay, so that's interesting. I guess I'll submit that. We'll see what 70 speed... I believe 70 speedrun is not a filled leaderboard, so that's a guaranteed record, or like a guaranteed top time. But yeah, 70 speedrun is literally 2 minutes away from my 50 speedrun for the world record. Because 70 speedrun is a recently added category. I don't quite know why, but I won't complain.
Look at the mess I made.
Oh yeah, I was talking about other things that people complain about. So, it feels the least remakey, so that's why people aren't complaining, because it feels the most new. But it is a remake. In my eyes, it's a remake. And another thing, the point system. People say they love the new point system, but it's the same point system as Black Ops 4, except worse. Black Ops 4 made it so that the maximum amount of points you can get per zombie was 150. And people hated it because it made it extremely hard to build up points by, like, you know, shooting zombies. You couldn't play any trap strategies in this game, really. Except for the fact that there's a health cap, which negates it, but... But people hated the Black Ops 4 point system. The only difference is, Black Ops 4, you could earn points by shooting zombies. You get the 150 points spread out over the amount of time it takes to kill them. Like, it's not just all 150 at once. So you can earn a little bit of points here and there. Cold War, you do not get any points at all for shooting zombies. You just get 115 upon death. That's it. So it's the same as the Black Ops 4 system, but even worse, because 1, you're getting less points, and 2, you can't earn points throughout the zombies losing the health proportionally. You just earn it all at once. But people love the new point system for some reason, even though it's the same thing. And I'm sure if the ray gun gets nerfed even more, or if we come onto a new map where there's a different strategy, it might be very hard to retain points. That on top of the fact that you have to deal with 3 types of points, because there's like the regular points, then there's salvage, then there's high grade salvage, which you always have to be on top of.
Here we go again.
Yeah, but point system bad. There's a few other things that were bad about Black Ops 4 that have not been fixed in Cold War, but people don't care, and they like it this time. Oh yeah, health cap. The zombies should not have a health cap. It should get harder and harder to kill zombies as the rounds go on. In my opinion, the only thing that should kill zombies on high rounds is the wonder weapon. And maybe traps, but Team Machine doesn't have any traps, so I was really hoping it would be a horde kill repeat wonder weapon strategy. But no, everything kills. Because there's a health cap. People hated that about Black Ops 4, but they love it in Cold War. And you wonder why they love it? It's because they can use their precious ray gun. Box system. They have made it clear that every single time they release a DLC weapon, it will be added to every single map. That was the worst thing in Black Ops 4, because now every Black Ops 4 map has over 50-something weapons in the box. It's like 57 weapons per map. Because they added every single DLC weapon to all the old maps. Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, that was fine. Because they didn't add it to the older maps, just the newer ones, for the most part. You think it's hard to get a ray gun now, try doing it when there's 50 weapons in the box. If not more, because they're integrating everything with Warzone and Modern Warfare. You're going to have the easiest time getting a ray gun now than you will at any point in the future of the game's life cycle. Because they're going to add every weapon to the box. The way that Black Ops 3 did it is like, they never added new weapons to old maps, ever. Whatever weapons were on that map were on that map. There's only a couple exceptions. For whatever reason, they added the RPK to like Horizon and Gorod Krovi. I don't know why they did that. And they added like the M14 to Horizon or something, like, or maybe not that one, but they added like 2 Chronicles weapons to old maps, which were stupid. I think the only one they should have added was the Ray Gun Mark II. They should have added the Ray Gun Mark II to every map on Black Ops 3. But it's fine that it's on Chronicles.
I need some backup here. Any volunteers?
Don't throw technique.
I think the Ray Gun Mark II, even if it wasn't in the rest of Black Ops 3, it should have been on Revelations. Because that, on top of the Thunder Gun, that would have been such a cool reveal. Like, holy shit, the Thunder Gun, holy shit, the Ray Gun Mark II. Cold War has yet to see a Ray Gun Mark II. We'll see if that changes. They added it to Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4, it's on every map. I don't know why the Ray Gun Mark II is like something they always forget about. And then they just add it when they're like, oh yeah, that exists? They forget the Ray Gun Mark II exists, and they're like, oh yeah, Ray Gun Mark II. Duh. Everyone forgets. Yeah, Alpha Omega was... Gorod Krovi was not that lazy, because even though it was a Ray Gun Mark III, they did make it a map-specific wonder weapon. They said, like, no, this is just for Gorod Krovi. This will be the one. And it's a new ray gun that not only had we never seen before, but has never been seen since. But Alpha Omega took a weapon we already knew, gave it 4 elemental upgrades, and said it was new. And we're like, we've seen this shit before. And nobody liked that. They're going to forget about the Mark II, and then they're suddenly going to add it in Season 3, and we'll be like, oh yeah, Mark II. That was weird. But... So, no, Black Ops 3, they released a new weapon on multiplayer, and then they would add it to the next Zombies map that came out. For example, they released the Marshals, which were the dual-wield, like, shotgun pistols. And people liked it, so they were like, alright, let's just put it on Zetsubo, because that's fun. And they put the Razorback on Zetsubo just for the hell of it, you know? And the Marshals were cool. And you know what maps the Marshals appeared on? At the very least, they did not appear on Shadows of Evil or the Giant or DE. They just appeared on Zetsubo to add more hype for the multiplayer. And it was cool on Zetsubo. People liked it. People would not have liked it if they added it to the older maps and made it even harder to get a Wonderwaff on the Giant. Let's say they added every single new weapon to the Giant, it would be twice as hard to get a Wonderwaff. Because let's say the Giant had every weapon it already has, plus it had the Marshals, and the Razorback, and the FFAR, and the Galil, and the M14, and the PPSH, and every single weapon, you know, it would be so hard to get the Wonder Weapon. And that's where they failed on Black Ops 4. But they added the new weapons to the new maps, but not to the old ones. Cooper, thank you for the raid. How's it going, man? I was lurking. Gambling is good for the soul. I did a little bit of gambling last night. Oh, that's amazing. I did a little gambling last night. How's it going, Space Corn Cow? I lost $130 to Drew and Ronnie, and then I won $70 from Derek. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for popping in. I was lurking in your stream earlier. I was watching you play Getting Over It. Souls are good for the gambling. He's got the right idea. Because what's the fun in gambling if you're not gambling your whole life away? Thank you guys for popping in. Much appreciated. Yeah, there's no point in gambling unless you're gambling your whole life away. That's what the fun is. But yeah, I lost like $60 last night. But it's fine. We played a new game. So, like, we played some poker, we played some blackjack, we played some craps, and we played a new game that I like to call coin flip. Now, here's how the game of coin flip works. You place a bet, and then I flip a coin. And while it's in the air, you call heads or tails. And if you get it correctly, you win 1-to-1 on whatever you bet. And if you don't get it correctly, you lose whatever you bet. And that's the whole game. And there's no house edge, because coin flips are quite literally 50-50. Oh, it's very hard. Derek was winning quite a bit. He like quadrupled his money and then he lost all of it. What if it lands in the middle? I'll give you $1,000. You don't even have to bet. Anyone in the room gets $1,000. Yeah, that is apparently true. That heads actually rolls ever so slightly more. Like a fraction of a percent, but like a non-zero amount. Heads will roll more. But actually, the coin we were using, that would not have been true. Because we weren't just using a regular quarter. We were using a driftwood chip, which Cooper knows what that means. So it's like perfectly even on both sides, and you either are voting for sailboat or no sailboat. And that one would actually be a true 50-50. It was nice meeting you as well. Thank you for stopping in. This is a fun conversation we had about gambling. But yeah, it was very interesting. I was like, all right, because he had like 5 minutes before he had to go. He was like, I want to play some more, but what do I play? And I was like, ready? Let's play a game called Coin Flip. And it was the stupidest thing, but it worked pretty effectively. Maybe I'll think, I'm trying to invent some more games. Because inventing games is pretty fun. There's an anime I watched. It's on Netflix. I don't know if you guys got the reference. Because me saying, what's the point of gambling if you're not gambling your whole life away? That's actually a quote from the anime. It's called Kakegurui. And it's about this high school where the entire culture revolves around gambling. Like, whoever wins the most has all the power and can be the student council president. And whoever loses the most are treated basically like slaves. And everyone has to gamble. And it's really cool because, so they show the main character who's just absolutely insane, and all she talks about is how there's no point in gambling unless you're gambling literally everything you have. And it's cool because you get to see the new games they come up with. They don't just play like blackjack, craps, roulette, the normal games. Most of the games they come up with are completely original, or at the very least, games that I've never played that I would love to try. One of my favorite ones, and this is from the very first episode, is it's like a variant of rock, paper, scissors. They were in a room with about 25 people. Each of those 25 people... Alright, see you later, Cooper. Thanks for stopping in. much appreciated for the raid. Thank you so much. I'll see you later, man. We'll be talking. But I'll explain the gamble. It's so much fun. So you're in a room with like 25 people or so. Each of the 25 people gets 5 slips of paper. On each paper, you can write rock, paper, or scissors. So you can choose to write rock on all 5 of your papers. You can choose to write like rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, you know. You can choose to split it however you want. You have 5 options for rock, paper, or scissors. Then all the papers get collected, all of them get mixed up into a bin, and then 2 people randomly draw 3 of them. So the 2 people that are playing, you could end up randomly drawing 3 rocks. You can end up randomly drawing 3 scissors. You can draw a rock, paper, and a scissors. So there's an added, and then you basically bet. It's sort of like poker style betting, where one person could bet and you can choose not to play, one person can bet, you can raise, and then you keep going until you agree on how much you're going to bet for that round. And then you guys go rock, paper, scissors, and you have to play one of the cards in your hand. And if you beat the other person with whatever you play, then you win. And obviously, it's similar to rock, paper, scissors in that there's always like a 1/3 chance of winning, because rock always beats scissors. But there's an added layer in that you don't know what your opponent has. And for all you know, you could be stuck with only one thing. You could have only rock, and your opponent could have only scissors. Or you can have a variation, and your opponent could only have, you know. So there's always, like, it's ever changing in how you play. And it's a really cool game that I'd love to try with a large group of people in a more COVID-friendly way, because you can't really get large groups of people these days. But I would very much like to play that game. Maybe next summer I'll do it. I wanted to try and have this end and then pick up the full power and get it charged, but it was going to go away. I got it like the last second. Guess I got some kills out of it, so it's whatever. In my head, I didn't want to say it out loud because I was wrong, but in my head I was like, this is going to be an insta-kill, watch. I realize I haven't looked at the screen in a while. That's the fun thing about this strategy, is that it gives you a lot of leeway. And that you always have to be on your toes. Like, you can't just be like Revelations or Dead of the Night where you can just phase out and not even pay attention. You do have to pay attention and be on your toes, because there's a risk of death, but it gives you time where you can look away. Whenever you have your Ragnaroks down, you know you're not dying. And you can just, like, check up on chat, check up on, your phone, whatever you do. I'll open up Reddit, see if anything's going on.
Fetch me their souls. Darn dog's always freaking me out. Why do those things always make me lose my cool? Ammo.
Hello?
If I get out of this, I swear I'll change my ways.
Oh, I spent too long not paying attention. But it's really nice. It gives you a lot of leeway. Oh, I didn't even see my 70 time. It probably was 8th place. I don't even think I beat 7. But that's okay. Curious to see how I'm going to place on the 100 speed run. My best time with classics is 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 59 seconds. Is that my classics or my megas? No, oh no, it's 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 3 seconds. But that's because I went for a 100 speed run, not for... That was because I went for a 100 speed run, not for like a high round attempt. So I had specifically... Like, not only did I restart for first box Helion, but I went from Helion Salvo just right up to the strategy without doing any of the setup. This time around, I did the heat pack, I did the challenges, you know. You don't need to go for the heat pack or the extra salve revive or even the shotgun at all when you're playing just a 100 speed run. When you're playing a game like this, you need to get some of the extra things. Okay, Black Ops 4, 100 speed run, tagged or Toten. 10th place is 222. Hopefully I can get the 10th place, otherwise this timer's useless. Actually, maybe not, because I got 10th place on the 50 speed run. And I had the 70. I don't know. Either way, I'll grind it out until I get to 100. Probably stop at 100 for today, so that I can shower and do some practicing. Hopefully I can beat 222. I got 50 minutes to do 27. Yeah, I'll probably beat it. Probably it'll be close though. I don't know why. I was like, I think it's close to the end of the round. Let me just kill these and put my specialist away. And it worked out. Yeah, I'm like mentally in a very different space right now. I'm mentally not present in this game.
There's some folks here to see you.
Mentally, I'm just going through the motions. I mean, that'll be different once I have to switch to shotgun when I start running out of ammo, but... we'll see. Yeah, I think I'll make top 10 on the 100 speed run. It would have been a better time if I had specifically gone for speed run, but I wanted to get that challenge done early because doing shield bash kills on round 100 is not something you want to do. Actually, you can do it with dogs, but it's not something you want to try. Actually, in hindsight, I shouldn't have... Actually, it didn't matter. Could have gotten more use out of that insta-kill, but oh well.
Fetch me their souls. You know, I used to like dogs. Max ammo.
So glad I got that max ammo just when I needed it. The dog rounds also definitely speed it up. Since they happen every 5 to 6 rounds, it's convenient. Although I do wish it was every 4 to 5 rounds, just to make an easy map even easier. Like that's possible. Yeah, I might as well grab it. Free 900 points, why not?
That was for you. I took the wrong turn.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely top 10. I'm trying to predict what my time will be though. So I think it'll be like close to 2:15. Wait, why did I just pull this out? Stupid. Duh. Oh my god, what a waste. And I got a full power too! That was really stupid. Oh well. Everybody makes mistakes. Fuck! How's it going? Long time no see. Yes, I do have emotes now. I enjoy my emotes. Yeah, quarantine is not fun. I'm not even, I don't know if you've heard, I'm not even in school right now. Not just because I'm home, like, I took a semester off because I was like, I'm not doing this online shit. And I definitely have to say this was a very good decision. But it also sucks because being at home is not fun. I knew that I wouldn't do well. And I knew at the very least, even if I decided to just cheat on everything, which I probably would have, I wouldn't have learned anything. I thought I would just get more value by not doing the semester and just graduating later. Everyone I know has been struggling. It's a struggle for everyone. So, if it's any consolation, no, you're not alone. But I'm sure you've heard that plenty. I feel like across the board, most people's grades would have gone down. Or up if, like, worse students are finding easier ways to cheat. Which, these days, nobody even cares about for the most part. A lot of teachers just come to terms with the fact that you're going to Google the solutions. Because they have no way to stop you from doing that. Yeah, exactly. They're just going to let you use your notes, or they're going to let you use whatever resources you have. I hate that. The lockdown browsers and all that. A lot of people have been petitioning that. They're saying it's a violation of your privacy. And some of the lockdown browsers record like every little small thing you do, and they're like, oh, that's suspicious. Like, some people I know have been complaining, like, oh, apparently I moved my eyes too much, and my lockdown browser told me I was sus, and my professor gave me a bad grade. Even though they didn't do anything. And there's some things out of your control, like people who have roommates. Where are you supposed to take your test? You're supposed to take your test in your room with your roommate, just chilling there? You're supposed to take your test in a library where people are just walking by? Or that's at least for the people that dorm. And then some people stay at home, but... There are definitely some teachers and professors that are very understanding and that are very much like, yeah, I know nobody likes this situation, nobody likes being online, and they don't like teaching online. I bet almost none of them would prefer to continue teaching online. I bet everyone wants to be back in the classroom, even them. Yeah, I feel like I would just be missing out too much. I think I wouldn't be learning anything. My whole degree program went online, and as someone who's studying music, I'm not able to perform, I'm not able to rehearse. Like, online music is nothing. I went from putting on concerts every other weekend to, oh yeah, you get to go to lectures about the history of orchestra, and then you can do a 5-minute recording at the end of the semester. And I'm like, I want to be a performer. I want to play my instrument for a living. And you're not letting me do that? Yeah, I'm not paying money for that. It's been amazing mentally, because there's no stress. Like, when I was working full time. I recently quit because I hated the job, but when I was working, there's no homework. There's no stress. Whatever you're doing at work, you do at work, and you don't take it home with you. You come home and you relax. Meanwhile, at school, I'm always thinking about practicing, about homework, about whatever things I have to attend. It's a lot easier. I've been recommending it to a lot of people. I was like, listen, if the spring is similar, consider taking a semester off, because the harm is, like, if you have scholarships, you might lose your scholarships, or you risk graduating later. That's the other thing, because I did this with the knowledge that I would have to graduate a semester later, but I know that means I'm getting a normal semester. And I might even be taking the spring off too. That means I'll be graduating a year later, but I'll have 4 normal years. 7.5 normal semesters. The half being this past spring, because obviously that was out of our control. I couldn't have just dropped out at that point. They're really expecting a lot more of us than we can actually give. They're making it even tougher because they're like, you have more resources now because you can Google everything, so we're going to make it even harder for you to pass the class. And I think it should just be the other way around. It should be like, no, we're in a pandemic. Some of your family members are sick and dying. Some of your friends are sick and possibly dying. Some of you are sick and possibly dying. I know we're the least likely to die, but it's not like it's not like 0 college-age people are dying. Just the least number of us. There's one thing that I think we've gained from this that I'm relieved about. And I think it's the fact that over the last 10 years or so, as technology has gotten better, many people believed that online school would be the future, that like every single child would go to school online and they wouldn't have to attend school in person. Yeah, exactly. I mean, these days I just play video games and practice, but lots of video games. It's good. It's good that it's like fostering more online communities because people who have more time are dedicating more to like being on the internet and whatnot. I've dedicated a lot more time to video games just because I have the time for it. But what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, I didn't mean to grab that full power. I don't know why I grabbed the full power. That's whatever. Get it around. But it's a lot different, and professors are expecting way too much of this. Oh yeah, I remember what I was saying. So I think a lot of people before all of this thought that online school could be the future because you save a lot of money by just having like one teacher send recorded lectures to 100 middle schoolers instead of people have always believed, like a few years ago, oh, you could just have one middle school teacher send their lectures or live stream their lectures to 150 kids instead of having one teacher teach 25 kids. That way you can hire less teachers and like you just need less of a budget overall because all you need to do is provide the kids with the computers or whatever. You don't need to provide anything else. But there have never really been tests of that widespread. Broken Apostador, thanks for the follow. There have never really been tests of that. People have just like assumed, oh, that might be the future. But this was basically a forced, like, widespread test. Basically, we were forced into this situation where we had to do this. And I'm glad that at the very least, this proved that it cannot work. That in-person teaching is the way of the future, just like it always has been. This was proof of that. And maybe there's things that could be different. It's entirely possible that, like, maybe it's because we're trying to use a really outdated method of teaching in a new way. Like, even our current school system is very outdated, and a lot of people are saying it needs to be improved upon. but I think it's because we're using a really old school system in an extremely new way, and people don't know how to react to that. But, you know, maybe there is a lot that could be changed. I just don't know what that is personally. Maybe someone who is more experienced in the field of education would know, but the way we're doing it right now does not work. And I'm glad that we were able to prove that. Nice. Oh yeah, a lot of older people don't get it. They, like, because they're not experiencing it. I'm sure if you get your parents, your grandparents to take 5, 6 online classes at once, they'll have just as much trouble as you. They'll have more trouble. But they'll never understand it. It's an impossible task to attempt to explain it to them. That's good. My grandma didn't understand why I took a semester off. She was like, oh, you could just, you know, take your gen eds and get that over with. And I was like, I'm not paying thousands of dollars to sit in my room and do gen eds on the computer. I'm paying thousands of dollars for a music degree. And she was like, don't you want to be finished earlier? I was like, no, I want to be finished getting the most out of that I can out of my degree. It's not about getting it earlier. Thousands of dollars for videos. I can just look up videos of the things that they teach you in the gen eds and teach myself probably more efficiently than a professor could over Zoom. But I really hope that I end up going back in the spring because I miss it so much. I'm not excited for the fact that my spring schedule is a lot of gen eds that are all online. The only thing I'm relying on is the fact that I'm going to have a couple in-person performing opportunities, and that's part of the reason why I am planning to go back. But if those don't happen, I'm not going back. But I haven't done those. I purposely put them off until later. But my spring is going to be all online gen eds for the most part. And I'm not excited about that. But I know it'll be an opportunity because at the very least I can work a bunch and play more video games and grow the stream or whatever. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for stopping in. I'll catch you later. Good luck with your homework and whatnot. I'm probably only be streaming until around 100, so another 15 minutes or so. Maybe 20 minutes, I don't know. But I might come back on the stream later tonight. Oh, I definitely want to play some Smash sometime. Let me know whenever. I haven't played Smash in a while. Because I normally play with my college friends, but they're all at college. They don't own Switches, we always just play on mine. Down later today. I'll have to see how I'm feeling. Once I hit around 100, I'm taking a break. Like, from all video games. Just go be productive and practice. But possibly. I might continue this later today. I'll see how I'm feeling. I'll let you know. But I definitely need to play some more Smash. Alright, see you later, man. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I'll definitely get top 10. But it'll be tight. I do have 2 dog rounds to look forward to. But I'm at close to 2 minutes a round. Not quite. Probably about a minute and a half a round. So easily top 10. Because I have 26 minutes to do 10 rounds. 2 of them are dog rounds. Yeah, I'm chilling. If I could get a 99 dogs, that'd be pretty cool. It's not world record. I've already not hit world record, but it's better than I thought I would do since I did a full setup and not just a 100 speedrun setup. If I had done just a 100 speedrun setup, I probably would have been 2nd or 3rd place. But it's fun.
That's right, meathead. Elixirs the Destroyer has come for you. Which way's the exit?
Yeah, that was like a minute and a half round, maybe. Maybe a little longer. So, okay, I can have 91. It's 96, 97 are my next dogs.
Fetch me their souls. Our dogs always freak me out. Don't let the doggy door hit you on your way out. Ammo.
96, 97, that's fine. But hopefully it's not like a 220. I don't want a 220. I want closer to like 215 at least, maybe less.
Hope that doesn't cause an avalanche. I need some backup here. Any volunteers?
Don't look at me.
It is getting harder to charge my Ragnaroks though, because I've been using it the entire time. I don't know if it saves time or if it just saves ammo to not use the Ragnaroks until 100. So I feel like it doesn't save time. It's definitely faster to kill this way than it is with my Helium Salvo.
Just call me Samuel Thunderclap Sullinger.
Yeah, I think that took like 11 shots. That was actually a lot. I'm at like almost max charge to get these Ragnaroks up. Yeah, that was less than 2 minutes. Alright. 201.06.
I'm a little outnumbered here, buddy. You got a minute?
I can only imagine if the silver bullet table was right here. The strategy would be so OP. If I could just buy ammo right here. Just sit like this. We'd probably hit 1024, honestly. Because it's twice as fast as Dead of the Night. I would have around 420 already. Actually, so would Scott if Silver Bullets is right there. That was like a 2-minute round. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have to do, okay. So it'll probably be like a 2:15. So I have to do 5 rounds. 5 rounds plus 1 dog round. At 2 minutes a round, so that's like 10 minutes plus like a minute. I'm already at 2 million points. That's kind of insane. Where would a 2:15 put me? Hopefully 9th place. Hopefully I could beat the 2:16. We'll have to see. Should get a max ammo this round. I'm pretty sure this game listens to you. Like, you know how there's like all those conspiracies that Google's always listening to you so it can give you ads? I think this game listens to you so it can give you max ammos.
Max ammo.
CJ, you're still lurking? Oh yeah, didn't you say that you'd be lurking? Not chatting, just watching? Or was that yesterday? I don't remember.
Look at the mess I've made.
Possible dog round. But I would actually prefer 97. Sometimes listens to you. Doesn't listen to you about dog rounds. Gives you 5 rounders when you want 6 rounders, and 6 rounders when you want 5 rounders.
Here we go again.
That was a super fast round, though. Alright, 3 more rounds. 3 more rounds, so that'll put me at 6 more minutes. 2:14. Okay. Kind of disappointed, honestly, because I think I possibly would have had world record if I didn't waste so much time on the setup. Maybe not, but like, I would have been really close. I mean, I've been top 3 like 4 times. I still... No, I guess I'm 4th place on all elixirs, but... I was 3rd on all elixirs, I was 3rd on classics. I've been, like, I've been 3rd on these categories so many times. I don't know how number 1 did it. I just know I'm not sub 2 hour caliber. I'm just 3rd place caliber. Just over 2 hours. That's how good of a player I am. Like I said, like Black Ops 4 is the game where I'm just top 10, but I'm not number 1. I wanted Cold War to be the game where I became number 1, but D Machine is not going to be a top 10 map for me. At least not on solo. Maybe on co-op. I'll have to see. Close to the end of the round. At least it should be. Yep. Alright, 2 more rounds. Hopefully, I'll probably get a 2:15, but hopefully I can get less. But either way, I probably secured 9th place.
If I get out of this, I swear I'll change my ways.
Also,
Just call me Samuel Thunderclap Stellinger.
So I definitely wasn't getting 2:13.
I'm up to my neck in canteen over here.
One more round. Yep, 215 it's looking like. Which I'm very happy with, honestly. I'm surprised that even with such a long setup, I got top 10. But that's fine. It's just another thing to add because I had cheated my previous top 10, so it's fair that I got removed. I think this might be the end. Should be close. $215.06. Is the final time.